on. Actually, we are actually live on YouTube, Chuck. 5 minutes early, but we are actually live on YouTube. But we'll go live another few minutes on Facebook, but just giving you a heads up that we are live on
Sure.
YouTube.
Hi, Yukti.
Hi Chuck, hi Raghu, how are you?
Hi, Yukti, how are you?
So sorry for being late.
No, not at
I'm
all.
just trying to figure out some internet issues.
Okay. Understand. Totally understand. Yeah.
Okay, I'm opening up your new three handout investor deck. Okay, investor deck is also ready to go.
Hi Veer.
Veer, I'll update you a little bit later, okay?
Yeah,
My
definitely.
New York trip. Yeah. And Yukti also. I need to update her. Yeah.
Briefly met Upen. We had this Asha Reddy's gala, right, yesterday?
Yes, yeah. I know.
It was very good, Chuck. I'll also give you an updates.
Yeah, I know. Few
Yeah,
congressmen
like
and all
full
came.
house, 50 plus people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I met your dad.
Okay.
And
Nice.
he was very happy to see him. I mean, he remembered me very fondly.
Oh, yeah.
He came to my place and he said, "Oh, you're that Mahavir." I said, "What happened, uncle?" It was so nice to meet him.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Your mom was always a homemaker, Chuck?
Yes. Raghu,
Oh.
is this being recorded?
I didn't start the recording. I'll start the recording as
Okay.
soon as
Yes, Veer.
but
Yes.
it is live streamed. It is going to. It's on.
I have to be
YouTube.
careful.
We are on live stream. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So today we have all the channels ready to go. Last week, I think Facebook did not work. Only YouTube worked.
Uh-huh.
And now we have everything.
How many registrations are today?
25,
So
27.
this is live stream, right? But attendees.
Yeah.
So if we can
Okay.
chat about that later. Yeah. Waiting room. They're in waiting room. Sorry, Veer.
No, sure.
We are just live on YouTube and
No,
Facebook.
sure.
Yeah.
How long were you there in New York, Chuck?
I was there from Thursday morning, Upen
Okay.
and I. Upen came back Friday early morning. I came back Friday evening.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to update you tons, Raghu.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so we'll catch up tomorrow, Chuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me bring up the presentation. Okay, so we'll start the webinar so people can start coming into the room.
You're admitting them into the room?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And let's start the live streaming on Facebook. Go live. All right, fantastic. We are live on Facebook. 2 different groups on Facebook too. Okay, 30 seconds, then we'll get rolling.
Okay.
You know when the project will go live, Chuck?
Yeah. We are ready with everything, waiting in the last certificate of occupancy to be signed.
Okay.
It's with the city, and that's expected in about 3 weeks, Raghu.
3 weeks, okay.
Yeah.
Always with the permit, it's never on schedule.
Yeah.
We plan for one thing and it always something else.
We are done with everything. We have systems tested, staff ready to come on. 36 hires ready to accept our offer.
Okay.
They're just waiting for us to call them. Our
Okay.
managers are there. We already hired our chef, everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fantastic.
Okay.
All right. Let's go live. Let me start it. Got it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another sponsored webinar by Growth Axle and New 3S. Today, I have Chuck Kakani, Yukti, and Mahavir Jain. They are from Growth Axle, the project promoters for New 3S. And I'm Raghu from Happy Schools. This is our fifth session, which is fifth straight week that we have been doing this webinar with the primary goal to educate the audience, the circle that are following Happy Schools in Facebook, YouTube, and email newsletter and whatnot about how EB-5 process works, the upcoming renewal date. Few years back, when the EB-5 program was sunset and then renewed, the investment amount went from $500,000 to $800,000. And a lot of the Happy School followers missed out on able to invest because they didn't have access to that extra $300,000. We have a similar scenario playing out in 2026. So to talk about that, my guest Chuck, Mahavir, and Yukti are here to educate you and also talk about the project that they have an option for attendees to invest on EB-5. Hello, Chuck. Welcome back. Mahavir and Yukti. Everyone, welcome back.
Thank you, Raghu. Really happy to be here. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon to you all. And whichever time zone you're in, I'm Chuck Kakani. And thanks, Raghu, for having me. We have known Happy Schools platform for many, many years, a decade. And very honored to be here because I know how diligent you are about nurturing this community. And we know that you don't let just anyone in on this platform. So really happy to be here.
All right, fantastic. Hi, Mahavir. How are you doing? And hope you are dealing with Texas weather, right? Typically, it doesn't get snow in those parts, but we dealt with the two snowstorms. But hopefully, you're settled then.
No, we are good, Raghu. And thank
Okay,
you
all
again,
right.
as Chuck said. Thank you, Raghu, and happy to be here.
Okay, fantastic. Yuti, how are you doing?
Hi, Raghu. I'm doing really good. It's great to be here and great to be a part of this amazing project.
Sure, fantastic. And attendees here, after this event, you'll be hearing from Yukti. The information, additional resources will be coming to you from Yukti and the Mahavir's team. So I wanted to introduce all three of the Growth Axle members before we get going. Chuck, we'll get started. Let me start sharing the screen, the new 3 project, and then we'll go from there.
Sure.
Where it is? There it go. Yep. It's yours, Chuck.
Great. Thank you, Raghu. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. And this is a confidential, investor discussion on our project. Though we also will be abstract in the sense that talk about educating people and giving you a good sense of this, whether at the end of the day you decide to do EB-5 or not, whether you decide to do with our project or not. That remains okay our objective here. But of course, when we speak about EB-5, we have to speak specifics and concretes, and we'll be speaking implicitly and explicitly about our project. So hope you understand that. So this is a disclaimer, of course, and you can, of course, review it in the packet later on. And tonight we're talking about a real operating business that is a couple of weeks away from starting. So please go on, Raghu.
All right, fantastic.
Okay, so what is this? What is New 3S? Originally, it was 3 businesses, 3 cash registers, 3 profit centers combined into one. We believe it's a very innovative concept whose time has come. So we are launching a market cafe, which is absolutely upscale, combined with a car wash, combined with express auto service. That's the original 3 units. In addition to that, we are happy to announce that we have added one more. So we don't want to say new 4 now. It's new 3s actually, but it's an add-on. It is electric charging, EV charging, both Tesla and everything else. So it is a consumer convenience brand built from a proven business lines, three, four proven business lines. And the project is in Jamaica, New York, which is the heart. It's on Merrick Boulevard, which is the main artery connecting Long Island to Manhattan, the city. And we are finished. Unlike many, many projects, this is not something that is just in the future. We are days, weeks away from opening. So this is a groundbreaking consumer brand. Of course, it's all these profitable businesses under one roof. Our strategic pilot location, mind you, we have come into this because we have vision to do much more than one unit. If it's one unit, it's good. It's about roughly $10 million project, one unit. But we want to actually replicate this across New York and in Texas, where we are. I'm in Dallas, Texas. Mahavir Jain, our other board member, is in Houston, Texas. So we want to replicate it everywhere else. So, yeah, that's a little bit of leadership profile. But it's not about the resumes here. All of us have, these are our four board members. Upen Varanasi is the chairman of our board. And he's also a tech entrepreneur who became very, very successful. The second is myself. Third is Krishna Garimella. We call him KK. He's in Dallas. Upen and Mahavir are in Houston. And KK is the CEO of OnBlick and RIG Group. He's the chairman of RIG Group. So, and Mahavir Jain, who is on this call, my friend here, is a very successful analyst, and he does financial modeling, pro forma investor relations, and much more. And so this is the main thing I want to talk about here is collectively our leadership team, our board. We are the four board members, and two of us are here, and we have participated in close to $1 billion of exits over long time, 2.5+ decades. And multiple board members, including me, have successful EB-5 raises before. So we combine our vast experience in able to close and successfully exit to large deals, 6, 8, 9-figure deals, okay, 9 figures in total, but also have EB-5 familiarity for many years, for me about 7, 8 years. So we straddle both. And since Mahavir is here, if I can take a quick minute, Mahavir, to say hello. I know you said hello at the beginning, but if you can just say hi to the group. And here is Mahavir Jain, my other board member.
Thank you, Jack, and hello, everyone. I'm glad to see you on this call, as Chuck has mentioned in his introduction. So I'm one of the board members for this business. My background is both tech and non-tech. Been working in this space for almost 2 decades now. I come from the finance backgrounds. I've kind of participated in deals where we kind of evaluated in terms of whether the deals can pass through the required criteria in terms of potential exits. And I can say with the confidence that maybe not 10 out of 10, but 9 out of 10 of our projects, they've kind of delivered amazing results. So, and for this project, the responsibility for me is to evaluate this project from finance angles, just to make sure that it delivers on the performer and also help our board in terms of driving growth for the next phases. That's about me. Over to you back. Check.
Thank you, Veer.
So,
really.
so before I know we've been doing this webinar. This is the 5th time. I wanted to jump straight into, let's talk about what is an EB-5 for a few minutes, and then we will come back to how New 3S fits into the EB-5 space.
Sure, Raghu. So thanks for that. EB-5 is a Congress-approved lawful program, the only lawful program for investors to come in, other than the employment-based, family-based. Even though it's called EB, it's not really employment-based. It is employment-based in the sense that your investment, $800,000 in this case, is going towards creating 10 people's employment for US people, okay, United States people. So that is EB-5. So that's why it's categorized as EB, but really it's not equivalent to your EB-1, EB-2, and EB-3 that most people are used to, even though it says EB-5, right? So investors put in $800,000, every single dollar of it to the last cent has to go into the project. And that project has to, because of your $800,000 investment, that project has to be able to create 10 US jobs. And that is a condition for the green card. Now, there is 1,050,000 too, that is called an urban non-rural projects, non-TEA urban projects. But we are a urban TEA project. That's why it's 800,000. So that is pretty attractive. And I think that's a great saving for people in terms of prioritization, in terms of lesser expense. So $800,000, we create 10 jobs. Your investment creates 10 jobs. And that leads you for eligibility to green card directly. No labor stuff. It is I-526, which is equal to your I-140 in EB1, EB2, and EB3. So you file it straight I-526 when you put in the investment.
Okay. So could you walk us through the timeline of somebody who can do in EB-5 and when will they get the green card or EAD or AP?
Yes, thank you, Raghu. EB-5, by the way, is the program where anyone, of course, depending on your capital availability, right? Your money availability. That's the only criteria for EB-5. I think there's no other discriminatory factors in EB-5. Money is money, you know. So whether you are a foreigner residing outside the United States, and people can apply from anywhere in the world, or you are in the US on some other visa, say F1, OPT status, H1B, or whatever, you are eligible to apply for EB-5 provided your money is lawfully sourced. What does it mean? Lawfully sourced means your money should not come from illegal activities. You know, if you are from some countries, it cannot be what is called black money, okay, quote unquote. So it should not be connected to any criminal organizations or any sanctioned organizations by the United States Department of Treasury sanctions. So as long as it's lawful and proven, your money can come from anywhere within the country. By the way, that's important. Your money can be earned in the US. Your assets can reside here. Your money can come from outside the US, say a country like India. So as long as you're able to show lawful acquisition of that money, this step is called source of funds, SOF. You'll hear that, and your attorney or our attorneys will be able to certify that source of funds as lawfully obtained. As long as you meet that criteria, you're eligible to apply for EB-5. Raghu, one more thing I want to mention. EB-5 is a visa that has an advantage that if somebody is married, the visa is counted, the same 800,000 for both the wife and the husband, and any number of children below the age out limit, that is 21. Okay. So below the age out age, a couple, say, hypothetically has 7 children. So you're getting 9 green cards, right? Both spouses plus 7 children. That is EB-5.
Okay. And does it make the process faster for somebody to get the green card in EB-5 route?
Yes. And curiously and interestingly, 2022, there was an act called Reform and Integrity Act, RIA, they call it, of 2022. So RIA Act actually reformed EB-5, and it speeded up things quite a bit. One of the biggest advantages after RIA is that an investor putting in $800,000 can right away, concurrently, if the priority date is current. Right now, Raghu, it shows current for everything on EB-5. Yes. Look at it. 5th, set aside, CCCCC. Thank God. You know, touch wood. Now, this is the Department of State Visa Bulletin, the famous one that people watch, okay, everywhere in EB-1, EB-2. You see, if the date is current, which it is for everyone as of this moment, as I'm talking, and you can file what is called concurrent filing. That means you file I-526. Remember, it's equal to I-140 in EB1, EB2, EB3. You file, if you're in the country, for adjustment of status 485. And what does that get you? You file for employment authorization document, EAD, and you file for travel document called advanced parole, AP, all together as concurrent filing. That, in my opinion, is a boon, because look at the priority dates for other categories. That is not available anywhere else, right? Except in EB-5. That's the only one, fifth, you see that? And that is set aside, and which is incredible. So, of course, you all know the story of priority dates languishing in this point, especially for countries like India, which is unfortunate. And what do they say, Raghu? For EB2 or EB3 category, if somebody is in
Like
20.
15 years, 20 years.
Oh, Raghu, that is very generous.
Yeah.
I hear 90 years too, right? So God knows. But Raghu, to answer your question, yes, super speedy. You have ability to apply and switch on to EAD right away. You're in status and no longer dependent on a job, any job, by the way, because you have an EAD and you have advanced parole, and it's not connected to your employment. It is connected to your money giving employment to US people.
Okay, got it. Fantastic. So now somebody has some money and they want a faster green card for themselves and their family. They can invest the money on an EB-5 government approved EB-5 project, which will help them get a green card. And the project we are talking about today, New 3S, is one such project. Is it correct, Chuck?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
all right. So now we have established the base. Let's talk about the project itself.
Yes, thank you, Raghu. So if you see this is a real physical finished location, right? We are 3 miles from John F. Kennedy Airport. And Raghu, yesterday I just flew from New York, being at our site. And if later on you call on it, I would love to share an actual video from my iPhone taken on Thursday and yesterday. So these pictures don't do justice at all. But these are real pictures, not renderings, by the way. And so now those racks are all filled. So we have a market cafe, upscale, and which is very exciting because there's nothing like that in the entire Merrick Boulevard, except there's a Starbucks, 1.5 miles. But this beats Starbucks in the location. In the sit down, 80 people can sit in this cafe restaurant, and it's a neighborhood friendly place while they're having their car washed. Okay, while they're having their oil change or tire or wheel alignment, or while they're doing EV charging for their vehicles, electric vehicle. So it's designed to be irresistible stop. We are close to opening, 3 weeks from opening, and it's a prime spot with maximum visibility. By the way, those pictures there are our auto center, which is attached. So there's market cafe, there's car wash right next to it, inside, same building, by the way. And there is a auto care, which is a pretty big auto care center that does the oil, wheel change, wheel alignments. And oh, Raghu, we also have a machine that is only dealerships have, which is a pretty expensive machine that in 7 seconds, as a car passes through, takes all kinds of x-rays, pictures and all, and gives you a diagnostic report so we can upsell more services in the auto care. And meanwhile, while they're waiting, they can spend more in our cafe. So it's an incredible concept. And that's the exciting part. So New 3, how does this compare to competitors? See, most competitors, if you see that, and we would highly encourage you to visit our site. We would love to have you. And if you see most sites there, they are all mom and pop operators. They are busy. By the way, if you see New York City, that is 24 hours. Raghu, right now we have 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. operation. Okay, 2 shifts. And we are seriously contemplating that adds 60 more jobs, by the way. Okay, a third shift to make it 24 hours. You might think any other city in America, think of Las Vegas Boulevard. New York City is Las Vegas Boulevard, without gambling, with all kinds of businesses. Okay, anytime you go 3:30 a.m., there are actually car washes open and automotive centers open, auto repair centers open. It's unbelievable. It is the only place, I think, in the United States. It's like that. So it's a bustling city. That's why we chose this location for our flagship, that to 3 miles from JFK. So if you see, it's convenience under one roof. Okay, most of these operators are fragmented, mom and pop, inexpensive, very, very dirty, bad environment, right? You don't even feel like walking in a day, and there's no place to stay because if you see, it's like other countries. The shops are on the road, right, with heavy traffic. So you can't even get into it. If you don't get into it, you have to move on into a car wash, and there are lines always. And so this entire boulevard is like that with heavy 18,000 traffic vehicles. But Ours is the only one with ample parking, a place to sit down, a place to have a convenient one-stop shop. Think of it like Buc-ee's. If you have been to Buc-ee's in Texas, started in Texas, one of my favorite brands, by the way, and it's clean, bright, unusually well run with cleanliness, order. That's what it looks like. So people go from I have to stop to I want to stop. We are selling this environment, not just transactional, right? And we have a growth strategy, by the way. Our growth strategy is the phase one is Jamaica. This is our pilot location. So we are investing everything in this to make it work. And then disciplined expansion into New York City. We are contemplating Long Island, a couple of more, and then bring to Texas. Eventually, we want to make it a very replicable, franchisable brand that's worth billions of dollars.
Fantastic.
Eventually.
So we touched upon what is EB-5. Let's look at. All right. So why New 3S is looking for EB-5 capital?
So here's the thing. In fact, EB-5 is not a contingency here. In other words, there are many projects just built on EB-5 and they will die and wither without EB-5 capital, right? For us, it's other way around. We have put in the money already, including our own founders funded, right? Millions of dollars went from founders. Usually EB-5 projects might have 1%, if at all, of founders money, right? So we are skin in the game in this business. So founders money, bridge capital that we have taken, we have not waited for EB-5 because that was not the whole centered around EB-5. So we already finished it. So now EB-5 is needed to rotate that bridge capital out of this project. And for what reason? For further expansion. Okay, because our plan and objective is to mint these units around the country. Each unit might cost in a city like New York City, this is $10.5 million. Okay, it costed us. By the way, already funded, everything done. And so we have bridge capital. So jobs are created already. And so that is why we are looking for EB-5. Also, EB-5 gives us access and good magnification in the capital stack. So there are some advantages to EB-5 for us. But 2 points here, founders funded, skin in the game, bridge capital, meaning not waiting for EB-5, already done, put in jobs already created and creating, okay, ongoing, unlike many other EB-5 projects. 3 is the EB-5 funding that we are looking for when we take this EB-5 money and give out the bridge capital back that we have raised, founders and others. It allows us to use the bridge capital for expansion to other units.
Fantastic. So could you talk about earlier I shared the EB-5 date is current for high unemployment area.
Yes.
And could you talk a little bit, Chuck, more about what is an urban TEA mean?
Yes.
And why is it all current for that category?
Yes, thank you, Raghu. So very important to know the classifications. Okay, what are the boxes or the big buckets, right? One big box you will hear about in EB-5 is rural. Everybody touts rural projects. Why? They're given high priority, right? And certain things set aside for rural. So the chances are when, it's not if, when. Because very soon, in next 2 months, there'll be a mad rush. Please don't get caught in that. If you're looking for EB-5, get on it now. I'll tell you what's happening in 2 months, right? Why that mad rush right now. So when this happens, rural will still remain current and high priority. Along with rural, there is something else that will remain current and high priority, which is equal to rural, is urban target employment area. That's what TEA is. So when the unemployment in that area is above the national average, okay, even 0.1% above the national average, it is classified as TEA. So now in my opinion, rural projects are good. Some rural projects are good. I can't say all of them are bad. But why is rural given that advantage in EB-5? Because rural needs that what you call the boost. Why? Because rural is rural. That means less number of people. That means less revenues into a project. That means less job creation. By the way, revenues are directly created in job creation in EB-5. when the USCIS evaluates this, the EB-5 law, because the business is going to be built for most businesses, unlike ours, it's already built, right? So how do you give approval for green card on jobs which are yet to be created? So what they do in the business plan, they look at the revenues and they link it to jobs. If they're satisfied these revenues can be generated, then the jobs will be generated. The visa will be approved. 526 is approved. But not in our case. Jobs are already done, right? And ongoing, which is, I'll come to that later, Raghu. But that is why rural is given a boost, because lesser revenues, lesser people, lesser revenues, job creation is risky for many rural projects. But when you go to urban, it doesn't have advantage because it's 1,050,000, right? Lower priority. But if it's urban TEA, it is equal to rural. So there's rural, same priority is urban TEA, then everything else urban non-TEA, right? So three boxes, let's say. You don't want to be caught in the last box. First of all, you're paying 1,050,000, and for that privilege, you're getting lower priority. So rural and urban TEA have high priority. Now, a word about urban. We are not even urban, we are super urban. Super urban, right? Urban has high revenue, but New York City, which doesn't sleep, the boroughs here, the kind of traffic, that's why we chose for our pilot location, a location for, like NYC, 3 miles from JFK Airport on the main artery connecting Manhattan and Long Island, Merrick Boulevard, that has 18,000 traffic vehicles a day, actually more. This is 24 hours ongoing, so that there is no question about the footprint traffic. In fact, we will have a problem very soon. We will not be able to run it till 10 p.m. We have to open 24 hours.
Okay.
So that is why urban and TEA, super urban TEA has an advantage. TEA is target employment area, and that is a certificate. We already have that,
Sure.
that USCIS accepts.
So could you talk about why there would be a mad rush potentially for the EB-5 space with the September 30th deadline? What's happening on the date?
Yes, September 30th. Technically, it's September 30th of 2027 when the EB-5 program has to be renewed again by Congress. Okay, but doesn't mean anything. You have to invest before September 30th, 2026. Okay, the 1 year is for that renewal negotiations and all that stuff, right? So September 30th, 2026 is literally, your deadline. If you think the political situation is uncertain, the administration is talking about gold card and stuff like that, which, by the way, is in a sense not lawful program. Lawful means, people don't know this, not executive signature, okay, or make or executive created plans. Lawful means the United States Congress makes the law. It's a legislature. It has to be passed by US Congress. EB-5 is the only investor category lawful green card program, permanent residency program. So because of the current situation, the renewal of that is in question mark. So you have till September 30th, and there will be people who will wake up, they will make mistakes in 3-4 months, because this is a process. So that's why September 30th is important, Raghu. But in my opinion, February 7th is and all is the most important date, because you got to get started now if you're going to do this.
Okay. All right. Attendees, if you have any questions, please head on to the Q&A option. You'll be able to post your questions, type it in, and I'll be able to read them out to ask Chuck, Mahavir, and his team. All right. So let's move on. So you mentioned about urban TEA, and what does this image mean?
Yeah, this is the actual letter of approval of target employment area status. So we are urban, obviously, New York City, bustling, super urban. So this company is what USCIS accepts, because these are ex-USCIS people. They've been running this for many, many years, decades actually. So this is the golden certificate that we file along with the paperwork. So this is that zone, the red one there is our block, the target employment area. So that is what this letter is, a proof of target employment area, urban TEA, Raghu.
Okay, fantastic, Chuck. So this is what that makes the investment amount 800K, not 1,050,000, because
Yes.
of this certification.
Yes. And Raghu, not just that, this also 800,000 plus, remember, current priority. This what makes it 800,000. This what makes it high priority like rural, this is what makes it a very attractive investment that EB-5 investors would be looking at.
Okay, all right. And could you talk about job creation? So here you have mentioned 36 and 18 direct jobs. What does it mean?
Yes. By the way, for sake of our internal schematic, we divided this into two sections. Our market cafe, car wash, and EV charging comes under what we call JCE1. If you are hearing that word for the first time, JCE is job creating entity. That is what the USCIS needs because that's how the law defines this kind of structuring has to be done. So three of our business units come under job creating entity 1. Auto care comes under JCE 2. So these are the jobs created by JCE. By the way, this is the business plan, right? We are happy to tell you we are far exceeding the business plan. Okay, already we have, when we open the doors, we have signatures ready for 33 people to accept the jobs. These are called direct jobs. So this is the structure of New 3. Raghu, you want me to go through this? Because
Sure, yeah, please. Yeah, because you
Okay.
mentioned JCE1, I wanted to bring this
Yes.
up.
By the way, this model is what is called a loan model. Now, there is some other models called direct model. In my opinion, it's quite risky because will you do your other things you're doing in the US if you're present here? If you're not present here, how will you manage a business to have a direct investment? Second thing is that your forte? Is that your capability circle? So that's why most people go towards loan model. That means they don't have to run the business. They just have to do it. They can do their own stuff, but they can be on this EAD once it comes, right? Once they file the 526 and they're free. They're free from employment based. No more status discussions. So anyway, there's a sponsoring organization called a regional center. There are only a list of regional centers approved by USCIS. So our regional center is NYC TRC, New York City Transportation Regional Center. And the way it sponsors the project and it oversees compliance wise this whole thing, right? So when investors, you all potentially come into EB-5, you come into what is called a NCE, New Commercial Enterprise, NCE. Okay, that is managed by NCE manager, and I'm happy to announce the NCE manager is right here on this call. One of our board members, Mr. Mahavir Jain, is the NCE manager. So you're like, where I'm investing? Who is the NCE manager? Most places you won't even meet them. Okay, you'll meet the marketing folks. Here you're meeting the board, the ownership, the NCE manager. So an NCE manager manages that, and they in turn, like a bank, give a loan to the project, which is a job creating entity. Remember, JCE1 is Market Cafe, Car Wash, and EV. JCE2 is Auto Center. So we can decide, okay, 7 investors, 0.8 million each. Okay, maybe 4 investors or 5 go here. 5 is 4 million, and 5 times 800,000. Okay, 5 go here and maybe 2 go here, or 4 go here and 3 go here, right? So, and then these are owned by our holding company, Realchemy Cam Ventures Jamaica LLC, and that is how the structure is. So your money comes into New Commercial Enterprise, NCE. NCE loans the money to job creating enterprises, JCEs. They have to create 10 US jobs for every 800,000, means one investor.
Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic.
can we go back to the jobs, Raghu? Yeah.
Sure, yeah, I'm going there right now.
Sure.
Clear all the drawings. There you go.
All right. So, job creation. So, our JCE, Market Cafe, Car Wash, EV Charging, right? It was originally Market Cafe, Car Wash, EV Charging is an add-on, okay? Not a replacement, it's an add-on, right? Which is good. I'm sure that more features, more things, right? More lines of businesses, distinct businesses to add on. So, JCE 1, if you see there are 36 jobs here, okay? I believe this is a very conservative number. My opinion, this might be 3 or 4 times. In actual direct jobs, Raghu. And that explodes the EB-5 jobs because it's not just direct jobs in EB-5. Okay, we'll come to that in next slide, right? So JCE2, 18 jobs, the auto center, right? Total of 54, correct? And so 54 jobs already here. In the first week itself, we already have job creation, right? Our managers are on site, our chef is on site, our baristas, and auto care mechanics being hired, waiting for the opening date in 2-3 weeks. So on day one, this unusual project, on day one, by the way, because of construction, there are some jobs you can add on. Usually real estate projects only can add on that, right? Construction jobs. We have all that already done. Plus, we have actual direct jobs ongoing, which we believe conservatively because of rotation and churn in this kind of business. But every time somebody takes a job and they quit and we hire somebody else, that's another job created for the same role, right? We don't plan to do that. We want employees to stay with us for a long time. But we believe this actual number of direct jobs will be 3 times probably than what we are showing here. Okay, and I'll tell you how that's important. Next slide. So if you see that there is economic models that calculate this. One of such models is called RIMS2, input output model. By the way, these are the models accepted by USCIS according to the law on how we should calculate jobs. And Raghu, if I can take a minute to explain that, suppose we hire somebody, right? We are paying them money, but they have to take an apartment to rent, right? So they're creating a business for apartment landlord, but they have to go to the grocery store, right? And from the money we paid them as a payroll, they will spend that money, right, in Aldi's or wherever, okay, some grocery store. They have to put gas in their car or whatever. So they're spending the money that creates more business. And there are certain number of jobs calculated mathematically according to these models. This is the standard in the EB-5. The RIMS2 model is the golden standard, actually. So when we say jobs, it's not just the jobs we give to people. It's the jobs because of the money that we give to people that they're spending in the economy. They're counted. They're called indirect and induced jobs. When you add that, total jobs come to 140, right? EB-5 qualified direct jobs itself is 66 because we added construction, remember? You say, how is 54 going to 66? Okay, so 66 jobs, which by the way might be three times that number. Okay, and then there's a multiplier on direct jobs. Right now it says 73. Okay, and that comes to 140. Imagine we actually end up creating 120 jobs or 150 jobs, which is more realistic. You add that, it'll be 300 or 320 here, which means we can take 32 investors. We don't need that kind of money in this business. Okay, we already put in all this money. So which is good. So we are asking for 7 investors in this.
Okay.
Think about it. Yeah.
Okay. There's a question from the reader. Let's take that question and then we'll move on to the next slide.
Yes.
Question is, what interest rate the financier charging right now, and by getting EB-5 investment, what interest you are going to pay?
Yes. The interest in certain private investments available to us. Remember, founders funded too for our money because it's a bridge loan to this and other preferred debt investors is typically probably around 12-14%. Okay. Now, if you go to a bank with our credibility and our lines of businesses, because we have multiple businesses, actually 8-10 more businesses, right? Our portfolio companies, and probably we'll get about 7-8. The EB-5 interest, okay, is 1.5% coming to the investor. But we are not paying just 1.5. We are paying much more than that because there is some that goes regional center, that goes to a small few basis point, go to administrative load. And so we have to pay much higher than 1.5 for you to receive 1.5, for investor to receive 1.5. So that's the difference.
Okay.
And that is
basically
why
the investor invests $800,000. They will be getting paid 1.5% interest.
Yes, per annum, simple interest.
Oh, simple interest. Okay. And
Yes.
do they get every year, every
No.
quarter, or when the money is returned to them?
No, it is when the money is returned to them. But if somebody, what is it? 800,000 times 1.5% is $12,000 a year interest, correct? But if somebody is interested, our memorandum, right? Our private placement memorandum, PPM, we say we pay at the end of the term when we return the capital to the investor. But if somebody is having some use of that and they want to see that, let us know. We are open to that discussion. Okay. We don't have to, according to the PPM, that is a norm in EB-5, but in extenuating circumstances, we are open to consider that. But to answer the question that someone asked here, so it is the project pays 4%. You'll see that in the PPM. Investor gets 1.5%. So that is the arbitrage difference for us in seeking EB-5 to rotate into this business to replace the bridge capital that we already raised and spent and build this project. It's done, right? Unlike many investments.
Yeah. And probably the next question that everybody might want to know is, okay, I am investing the money. You are telling that I'm going to get a 1.5% interest rate, but how would you pay back my initial $800,000? What's the exit plan?
Yes. And Raghu, when we discuss that, can we go to the revenues of this business? We're showing financials. Most projects don't show that. Okay. And I'll tell you how it's related to the question, Raghu. And please don't let me forget the question. Okay. So if you see the revenues of this business, so by the way, these are the funds. Remember, we already spent this money. Raghu, if you can go back, JCE1 spend about 5 million. By the way, this money is to the dot. The 73 cents. What is that? The $753, that's actual spend, okay, which is audited spend, if you see these line items, right? So we already raised this bridge capital, we spend this money, and we want to replace that with $4 million of EB-5, right? 5 investors, right? In this JCE1. Because remember, Market Cafe Car Wash EV charging, JCE1. Okay. And we'll still retain that debt on this project. Go next slide, Raghu. That's JCE2. Sorry, but one before that. JCE2, we already spent $2,619,082, right? For JCE2. Money already spent in these categories. We're replacing, say, 2 investors, right? 1.6 million. Okay, 800,000 times 2. So we'll still keep $1 million of debt on the books, right? So this money is already spent. So this is what, so now next one. So this is the use of funds. It's very important for you to know use of funds. Now this is revenues. So if you see the revenue of this business in the first year, this is just JCE1, one unit is $4.8 million. You see that? Okay, just let that sink in a second. Okay, this money, we believe, according to our economist, by the way, these are detailed economic analysis of the market, looking at every business up and down Merrick Boulevard that are not even combined, that are mom and pop operations with no efficiencies, fragmented businesses. One line, all these 4 units under one roof, the synergy it brings. We believe this number, we will suppress it by very, very high margin. But let's say only this number, 4.8 million. Okay, Raghu? Next one, please. Okay. And I'll come back a couple of times to these slides. So next one, please. This is JCE2. That is 1.4 million. So 4.8, right? And 0.4 is 5.2, 6.2. So $6.2 million. JCE2 is auto care, remember? These 4 businesses, first year, conservative estimated, is $6.2 million revenue. Let that sink in for a second, because revenues are jobs in EB-5. That is why it's a slam dunk project in EB-5 perspective. But as a business, as a viable business, this is a supercharged business. Now, Raghu, if you go back to JCE1 numbers, that is revenue, top line, because when we sell this business, we sell it on top line. Because other owner can come in, bring more efficiencies, cut expenses, right? So that's bottom line. But when we sell it on top line, this business has an exit evaluation, usually about 4-5 times the revenue, this kind of businesses, right? And so that puts it at 20-25 million. So if we exit this business and sell this unit, what is the EB-5 debt? In that is 7 investors we are looking for, 7 times 8, 5.4 million, right? Plus a couple of other million in books that we have, you saw that. So if you add all the liabilities of this project, it is far beyond comfort for this project to pay back the EB-5 investor, assuming we are only at 6 million revenue, right? This also shows you the net operating income. Net operating income in JCE1, Raghu, if you minus the cost of goods, okay, you will see that, Raghu, next slide, please. Net operating income, total expenses, that's total expenses 2.6 million, go down, Raghu. Net operating income, sorry, keep there, $800,000. Very conservative estimated first year, right? Because a lot of training, a lot of investment. So $788,000 net operating income. If you go down to JCE2, So keep that 800,000 there, and go down. Yeah, once again, cost of goods sold and total revenue go down, please, in JC2. So net operating income of 427,000. Let's say 400,000, 800,000 plus 400,000. So the profit is 1.2 million. Remember, revenues is 6.2 million. Profit is 1.2 million. Okay, that to first year, right? A lot of training, investment, heavy duty training programs, equipment, software, you name it. Still operate. So there's a lot of operating cash for this business. So remember, that is also a very, very significant factor for EB-5 investor. Whether you take revenue, the top line, whether you take net operating income, the bottom line. So two paths to exit, whether we sell this project or keep it as a cash cow project. Okay. We can always pay back the EB-5 investor either from an exit or from a very good bank loan that we can take at that point to pay off, so at any moment, right? Because a business of this kind of net operating income, this kind of revenue, a viable business will have significant ability to have a capital raise. So us taking care of EB-5 investor money is not an issue in this project, Raghu. I hope
Okay.
that answers the question.
Okay, got it.
And
I want to
one
tie it
thing
to
that,
revenues and everything. Okay. Yeah.
Chuck, and the
Mahavir, you are not visible fully into the camera.
oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Chuck.
Yeah. Yes.
On
Thank
this
you.
thing, I think one more thing is, as a good practice, what we are also doing in our financial modeling is whatever operating profit we're going to generate, we're going to keep part of that operating profit aside as a reserve to be returned as part of reserve building. So that way, whenever the money is due for the EB-5 investors, that money is returned from the pool. Okay, that's how we're thinking.
Yeah. Can I add something, Mahavir?
Yeah.
By the way, folks, everyone listening to this, to set aside money to return to invest in EB-5 is not correct, because it's a condition for rejection of green card, because according to the green card law, the money has to be at risk. So what Mahavir is saying is we have surplus operating capital, but we cannot set aside for EB-5 investor purposes. Okay, but we do have capital. So because EB-5 investor money has to be at risk, that is a law in order for them to qualify for green card. By the way, on a side note, if somebody says, I'll guarantee your money, okay, that is a condition for rejection of your green card in EB-5, because your money has to be by law at risk in the project. Okay, we understand the technicality. But what Mahavir is saying is, as a finance person, okay, forget about all this. There is enough surplus capital on the books for this project. Okay. So when time comes, when your green card is issued, when your 526 is approved, and 829, which is the last stage of temporary condition removal of green card, which will come to, is finished, this company, either through exit, okay, that is slam dunk to return the EB-5 money, either through recapitalization, because a business with this kind of revenue and net operating income has enough ability to recapitalize, okay, or through our own surplus cash flow. Three methods of exit, right? And guaranteeing nobody can guarantee, right, technically, but lowering the risk of an EB-5 investor getting their money back is pretty much a slam dunk thing. That's what Mahavir is trying to say.
No, I agree. I think
Yeah.
the right word is lowering the risk.
Yeah.
Chuck, I agree.
Okay. There are a couple of questions. Apart from loan, is there an option to be an investor in business so the capital can grow as a business expands?
Oh, great question, by the way. And who is that? Yeah, Neeraj. Okay, Neeraj Prityani. Okay, Neeraj, thanks for asking this. That's a great question. We love it. Whenever an investor asks us this question, we love it, because we want them to be long term. We want them to be excited about this. We want them to be truly our family. We always treated our investors like a family. And everywhere in businesses, we are 25 years, 28 years in business now, all of us as entrepreneurs, the board members, right? We would love, nothing is music to our ears than investor wanting to say, hey, can I be part of your business? Actually, instead of getting the money back, it sounds like a cool business. We would love to explore that. This is a loan model. Remember, Neeraj? That means there's a clear-cut separation. NC loans the money to the JC. JC return back the money with the interest. But Neeraj, if you're interested, there is something called a convertible note. Okay, that converts your $800,000 to equity in this company. We are happy to discuss one-on-one on those kind of convertible note options. By law, you can do that, by the way, okay, if you want to. We don't have to accept it. It is our prerogative, right? Because it's a loan model. We don't have to. But if somebody is enthusiastic about our business and believes in this as much as we do, of course, you believe in this. That's why you're going to invest in EB-5, but if you want upside and say, hey, I'm okay, $800,000 is my investment money. I want to participate in this business. And not only that, I want to be a big part of your next few hundred units or whatever coming up and be even a small player when this brand goes national and franchisable. We would love to entertain those options.
Okay. Another question. What are the timelines in your plan for exit to Jamaica location?
Okay. The timelines, we're debating on that. Funnily, Raghu, we have offers now. Believe it, we haven't opened the doors. 3 weeks from opening. We have offers now to buy off this project. I mean, think about the demand for such an integrated unit, right? Because I've seen it, what we have done. In a second, when Raghu permits me, I'll show yesterday's video and photos, okay, quickly. So we have offers now. So it is totally up to our board for us to decide because we want to run this as a flagship. Remember our expansion plans. So why would we sell a business that has $6.2 million revenue? Okay, $1.2 million operating profit, conservatively speaking. That is a model flagship unit for us to show around the country to make it successful. Our board is not convinced. Exits and these plans are theoretical just to show you this kind of option is available in this business, right? But we want to keep this as a corporate owned shop for now. Now, if somebody comes and gives us tremendous amount of money to sell this off, we will be happy to do that, of course, but we are not going to short of that windfall. We want to see this is a super business that the owners want to keep very close to their heart, right? Like this is something we put our heart and soul into this and develop this kind of concept, proving it for the first time that this integrated concept is going to be a superb successful concept in operating businesses.
Okay, all right. Another question. What JC2 is more profitable than, or why JC2 is more profitable than JC1? I think the question is why.
Yeah, what JC2? Why? Yeah, because auto care business is a very good business in revenues, right? But in profitability, it is, remember, we are using A tech mechanics, B tech mechanics. So as you are going deeper into skilled work, that kind of skilled work, your labor costs will increase. That is why auto care business is a good business, but not for the faint of heart. Right? But why auto care is useful for us in this model? Because while the car is being oil changed, there is a good amount of dollar amount ticket coming into our market cafe, right? Because people are sitting here. So the integration, so we thought through a lot about this, went through lots of exercises. Why should we even do auto care, really? When the lower margin, profit margins are low on auto care, right? Generally, that's known. Then a market cafe, food business is a very high profit margin, right? We know that. Every car wash has a very high profit margin. Auto care has a lower profit margin. But it is for us an attraction in the orbit into integrated business to bring money into cafe and car wash. So that is why JC2 is there, right? The auto care business is there, even though operating margin doesn't match. For instance, you can say, hey, can you convert into 4 car washes by getting rid of auto care, right? Yes, but there is a reason for auto care exists strategically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And one more thing, just just to add to what Chuck was saying. If you look at our JC1 entity, we have market cafe and car wash. They're like 2 businesses along with EV charging. So while cafe is profitable, but the biggest margins we are going to get from car wash and EV charges, right?
Yeah.
Just to give an idea, and since they all are getting bundled as part of one entity, so for car wash, the typical operating margins are anywhere from 35 to 40%. And for EV charging, they're also around the same range. So that basically a combination of all these things is kind of what is helping us, is what I would say.
Okay, got it.
Go ahead.
Another question. So before we take the remaining two questions, let's go back to the next slide
Okay.
to showcase the attorney team for New 3S.
Yes, our project team is a specialized law firm, okay, on Madison Avenue, 232 Madison Avenue in the heart of New York, right? This is Monasha Associates. And these people, by the way, Raghu, as we all know, Mona and Associates for many, many years, all of us who've been around, they're super specialists in EB-5. And Raghu, you know my analogy, right? Always. If somebody I hope you don't, if somebody wants a heart surgery, general surgeons can do heart surgery very well. They went to medical school, they finished their residency, probably no fellowship in cardiothoracic surgery, okay? But short of that, general surgeon can do a heart surgery. Will you let a general surgeon do heart surgery on you? No. You'll go to a cardiothoracic surgeon who has years of fellowship specialization after fellowship in cardiothoracic surgery, right? So similarly, in the legal field, in immigration, some people are specialists in H1. Okay. Many of them never saw a day in the court because you push the paper in H1 and become specialist, right? You're filing paperwork all the time. Some people are specialists in family immigration law, in immigration attorneys. Some are specialists in corporate law, right? Outside immigration, criminal law. Similarly, there is specialization in EB-5. Monash and Associates are super specialists in EB-5 area. And we absolutely cherish their expertise in this. So that's number one thing. So don't go to a general surgeon. Go to a cardiothoracic surgeon. Hope you don't go, okay, for a heart problem, right? Open heart surgery. So that is something I want to tell investors always, because people don't know. Hey, my H1 lawyer can do EB-5. Yeah, they can. Your general surgeon can perform cardiothoracic surgery. Yes, they can. But would you want to? I wouldn't want to. Okay. So these people have amazing experience in that. They have thousands of EB-5 petitions filed. EB-5 is a very complicated petition, I-526. So these are our project attorneys. Now, you have a choice of your attorney. But you can go with them with proper disclosures, or you can go with your attorney. But they have all the project documentation, and we are happy to provide you introduction to them if you want to go with them.
All right. So we have a couple of questions. We are not wrapping it up, but how do the attendees get in touch with your team?
Yes. We are big on communication. In fact, the telephone number you see there, mobile number, please take a picture of this. This WhatsApp number goes to Mahavir Jain, our NCE manager. Your would-be NCE manager if you're investing with us, right? So that is direct access that most EB-5 projects don't have. Okay. And then the other person I want to introduce is Yukti Jain. Yukti Jain is our first line of answering everything, and she is excellent at taking care of people. Her role is marketing, investor relations, EB-5 specific in our team. So this is Yukti's email address, and you have Mahavir Jain's email address, and eb5@new3s.com comes to all the board members, just to let you know. Okay. So you have 4 ways of reaching us. Direct WhatsApp to Mahavir Jain, eb5new3s.com, that comes to all the board members, including Yukti, and Yukti Jain here, and Mahavir Jain's email address. We would encourage you to be on WhatsApp because it's fast. We know that we can detail. And Raghu, can I take a quick minute to have Yukti say hi?
Sure.
Thank you. Yukti?
Thank you so much, Chuck. Hi, everyone. Like Chuck mentioned, I will be the first point of contact, and you can reach out to me for any doubts and queries. New 3S is really indeed an amazing project, and it's all built up and set up. And this is moving in a very fast pace. And the quicker you action, the quicker it will be for you. So looking forward to, talking to you guys, and I will be available for any queries and anything that you need for help. Thank you so much.
All right. Fantastic. Okay. Sounds good. So
thank you.
Chuck, we got a couple of interesting questions.
Okay.
I got 3 actually.
Okay.
Does your team have experience on EB-5 investment projects before New 3S? Any details or references you can share?
Yes, Neeraj. Our team has experience in EB-5 projects. Okay, before, an experience for a team. You want a team to be experienced in running their business, right? Obviously, because without a proper business, no amount of EB-5 experience will save a project. So that's number one. In fact, I'm ambivalent. All my years I've known EB-5. Too much EB-5 involvement, only EB-5 involvement is not really good. That means they're centric on EB-5 because EB-5 comes with non-covenant risk capital that people can play with and do all kinds of things because they don't care. So you want a team that is actually experienced in conventional business, running it, exits, proper, dealing with regular investors because we know how EB-5 investors are treated outside, which we don't. Okay. That's something, Neeraj, I want to tell you. But having said that, yes, we do have experience. And we never build our businesses and lives around centric of raising EB-5 money, which is another positive point, by the way, not negative. Okay. Because the experts in EB-5 handle the EB-5. Okay. But we should have enough expertise to know to do the right things so that EB-5 investors are taken care of. But more than experience, Neeraj, you want a team that has a heart for investors. Because I've seen time and again, lots of EB-5 experience and only EB-5 capital, never a good sign, okay, in a business. Because we know they're used to this kind of covenant-free money that they can play with. Not everybody will do that, okay? And they can erroneous decisions because, hey, I don't have to return this capital. It's risk money. Nothing is going to happen to me, right? You don't want to invest to think like that. So I hope you're understanding. EB-5 experience is needed. EB-5 centricity is danger. Okay. Two is more importantly, you want people who can run a business and execute. Right? You want people who have seen exits, huge exits before. You want people who have multiple businesses and cash flows, right? Under their umbrella portfolio companies, which is you want an enterprise scale team, not mom and pop operators who are running one luxury condo, this, that, and whatever. You don't want too much biggie people, $10 billion project, New York City. You think any board members will ever talk to you? Okay, now or after?
Okay.
Yes, in the wooing stage, they will do that. So we do have experience. Yes, we can give references. Neeraj, get in touch with us and we'll talk one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other question from Neeraj. With
Yeah.
current difficult environment on immigration and visas, we're also looking at denials from USCIS for EB-5. If yes, what happens to the 800K that petitioner will invest if the petition is denied?
Yes, very good question. By the way, you are absolutely right. First of all, I agree with you. Very irrational, no rhyme or reason denials. But that is the case everywhere in the country today, right? So, in the relative scheme of things, EB-5 is a lawful program, safer program. Okay, because when somebody denies, they can deny on base of two things. Okay, one is your source of funds that we have no control on. Okay, second is our job creation ability in the future. This is not future. That's how they adjudicate, by the way. When they adjudicate 526 is future jobs, right? You're giving a business plan. In our case, we gave a business plan, we exceeded the business plan on day one. So how can somebody deny this project? So technically, right? So, but having said that, don't put it beyond them to deny EB-5 cases. When that happens, if that happens, you want a management team that will go to bat for you. Not a management team which says, okay, yeah, we don't care really, right? But we are all very pro that because we ourselves came and became naturalized United States citizens. We know the pain. I've been through all the stages: F1B, F1, H1B, right? Permanent residency and United States citizenship, and including my parents being citizens. Okay, long time ago, and so sponsored by me, by the way, and so we went through all this stuff, the whole chain. So if anybody understands and have empathy, it is us. You want a management team that got your back. Last thing, in unforeseeable event, after all these things, okay, if the petition is denied forever, there are many recourses to that, of course. After, say, we exhaust all of them. So, which management team has a bandwidth? Which investment group, professional group has the bandwidth to give your money back? Who will do it? Who are you in touch with? Who is letting you be in touch with the board that you can talk to the principals directly? It's us, I think. Okay. So, hope that makes sense. So, somebody's $800,000 in case of a denial. of the visa for a business like this, as we are operational, as we have this kind of exit method modes, and as we have recapitalization ability and flexibility because of the business here, to give back and investors 800,000 hard-earned money, okay, which we believe it's not like people are like super ultra high net worth individuals investing in EB-5. We know that's not the reality. Is with us more secure than anyone else, Neeraj. Hope that helps.
Okay. And last question. This working capital, or Himanshu, your question is a bit unclear. Do you want to repost it? But I'll anyway read
I
it.
think the question I got it, Raghu, I think what Himanshu is asking is, when we are raising this private debt at 12%, then why are we giving 1.5% to
Oh,
the
yeah.
investors, right? To the EB-5
Yeah.
investors.
Yeah.
That's a question, if I'm not wrong. That's what Himanshu is asking. I mean, I can kind of share my thoughts, but Chuck can add more to this. So Himanshu, as you heard, right, I think we didn't wait for EB-5 money to come in and then start this project, right? Neither we waited for bank loan and then start this project. We had to kind of deliver this project choosing the private debt which we could raise. And that's pretty much a short-term debt, Himanshu, and the short-term debt always comes at a higher price, okay? But we have plan B. I mean, in case, let's say, at some point of time, this short-term debt will be eventually get retired, as Chuck called out in his discussion, with the EB-5 money and the bank loan, right? And as you can imagine, the bank loan will come in at around 6 to 7%. And that's where I would say, even if we're paying you 1.5%, again, what Chuck called out, it's not just 1.5. Our cost of capital for EB-5 is going to be higher than 1.5.
4%, and Mahavir, to add, actually, with all the expenses, it comes to 5% for us.
Yeah. So in a way, it's not 12 versus 5 or 12 versus 1.5. Yeah, it's basically, that's the reason, Himanshu, right?
And Mahavir, if I can add,
Yeah, please go ahead. That's all.
yeah, this business, we kept it purposely without bank loan. If you analyze EB-5 businesses that come to you, projects that come to you, there'll always be bank loan. That's the danger, because bank will get superiority. Right now, we don't have a bank loan. When we replace the preferred debt with EB-5, EB-5 is the loan, is the only loan on the books. And so when the only loan is a loan, that is the highest priority. You'll never get that in EB-5 projects. There'll be a bank loan, there'll be equity, there'll be preferred debt, then EB-5 in the capital stack. If somebody has Marriott, a big Marriott project, $100 million, you think they'll have 40% EB-5 probably, 20% bank loan probably, they'll have preferred debt of 10%, equity raise of 10% maybe. So I'm just giving an idea of how projects work. The advantage of this project is, no other loan, no other bank loan. When EB-5 retires preferred debt, very minimal preferred debt remaining, that to founders debt remaining on the books, right? So that's it. So there's an advantage. And like Mahavir mentioned, when we want to take this money, replace this bridge loan with EB-5 capital, we now have that bridge loan available for next unit, the short-term debt. It's a short-term debt. By the way, don't think somebody's 16 and this thing you'll get 16. You'll never get 16. That's very rare. You have to be sophisticated investors, right? And also you have to be super short-term. And a long-term debt will never be 16. It'll be 8 and less, 8% and less. So in EB-5, because of what it entails, it's not the interest, it's not the attraction. Somebody can promise you heavy interest, 10%. What is 0 of 0, 10% of 0? If they can't return you any money, they don't have intention to return money for you, they can say 25% return. I've seen all these bizarre things in EB-5, by the way. It always amuses me. Just because somebody is offering high number doesn't mean they have ability to execute a business. They'll give your money back. The business will actually work and revenues will actually come. So please just don't take interest rate in isolation. By the way, having said all this, 1.5% is very healthy. There are projects which give only 0.5, which have none of the advantages that we have.
Okay, got it. Sounds good, Chuck. I think that was the last of the questions.
Himanshu, I hope we answered your question, because I know it's an important question you asked. And I saw very good questions from Neeraj as well. But we hope we answered your question.
Okay, all right, sounds good. All right, so I think that was a very good session today. And attendees, if you have any questions or if you're watching us live on either YouTube or Facebook, you have the contact information. Please reach out to the Growth Axle team for any additional questions. And then if you have any more follow-up questions, you can either talk to them directly or you're welcome to join our upcoming and next webinar session. And we have done this 5th time, and there are at least 50% of new questions every time. Because that's the advantage of attending a session like this, where you get to hear questions from others that you probably may not have thought about. So that's
Raghu,
the good thing as well.
Raghu,
And
by the
yeah,
way, I
so
don't
you
know.
wanted to show
Yeah,
the, yep, definitely, Chuck. Please go on.
yeah. And I'll just show one brief video. This was Thursday. And Raghu, may I share my screen?
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should be able to share. Yeah.
And just wanted to, 1 second before I do that, I want to be able to share my video on the screen. Yes, it's open. And give me the share. And I will not share sound, okay? Okay, do you see this now?
Yep.
So this is done by me, this video.
Yeah, please.
And look at this. This is on Thursday, day before yesterday. And this is how it looks. The last cleanup stages being done, everything ready. This is a cafe portion of it, very upscale and say a neighborhood place to hang out. That's our condiment shelf. That is our car wash manager. That's our HR manager. That's our barista and the chef. Look at all these pastries. All, by the way, Raghu, it is scratch kitchen. It is not like heated food back. It is made at that time when the order is placed. Every ingredient, including the relish sauce, tomatoes, are cut there. So we are excited about bringing the highest quality food while not just looking at it as a this New York skyline, highest quality food, the product, while people are having their car wash, EV charging, auto care, and look at this beautiful big screen TVs everywhere. A very good environment, 1.5 miles aside is Starbucks, but doesn't give a scratch kitchen. This kind of environment, advantages for charging. There's a Tesla charging somewhere down the road, a few miles, couple of miles, but doesn't give a place to hang around. If you see that place, you can't even park on the road. It's like shops are on the road, right? So think about that. That's that. And I'll also show, for whatever it's worth, the auto care, Raghu, once, because we have to show the other side of the shop also. And just very quickly here, this is, by the way, the auto care, auto repair. Look at the expansive auto repair facility here. And pretty much ready. And this is huge for New York City, of that kind of busy artery. People do in 1/20th of the space, they're doing auto repairs. And cars are parked on the road, haphazard, honking, this, that. And there's always a line. There's the office inside the auto care. And look at this. That's for the auto care office on the side. So just to give you a couple of very quick visuals on this. Hope that helps, Raghu.
Fantastic. Do you happen to have a video about the EV charging station or the outside, Chuck?
Yes, I have a video, but not fully ready with me right now.
Okay.
But
Maybe
I
next
do have-
webinar you can showcase
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. And by the way, Raghu, we have 3 superchargers, and that is almost $1 million of equipment right there sitting. And we anticipate revenue and the rush for that always. We have valet. If the car parking, nobody has car parking, first of all, there. We have all these slots, right? But we are also in negotiations with the neighborhood to have the valet take their car while they go into the cafe. They hand the keys. It's like Mumbai, India. You can't be on the road of a busy thoroughway and have car parking. People are not even used to that in this area. And they're like, is this coming to this area? There are people walking in every day right now and said, please, when are you opening doors? Not only that, Raghu, we are looking for FHV contracts. There are companies in New York with 10,000 taxis, B2B contracts. We are about to lock a couple of them in. Okay, in a few months. It'll take a couple of months for us to log those contracts in. And by the way, we're also looking for Uber Eats and DoorDash, a big one, to deliver this super food to everywhere in neighborhood.
Okay,
So,
fantastic. Sounds good. All right. So thank you, everyone. I think no more questions from the audience, but thank you all for attending and thank you for spending close to an hour and 15 minutes with us. The replay is also going to be there on YouTube for some time. And please reach out to the project team with any other questions. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Mahavir. And thank you, Yukti.
thank you,
Thank you
Raghu.
again.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Let me end the live stream. And YouTube. I'll give you a call.